first, but you were one of the few young guys that actually played a ton. What was it, especially being a Colorado guy, how much did that mean for you to get your first experience in such a big turning season for CU?
You know, it was amazing because it's, you know, one of those things when I was picking here, it was Coach Mack was always telling me that we're on the roller coaster and we're almost at that tip to just get over and have a winning season, and he was right. And it was one of those big things for me just to be a part of that huge season. And it was crazy just to be a part of that after like last year before that. And I was like, oh, we're close. But like after that, it completely went over that little hump. And it was just big for me, especially as a Colorado kid. I was so proud to be, especially Colorado native, and be a part of that whole season.
How much did the guys in the offensive line last year? I know you returned tons of, pretty much everybody, but Alex specifically, how much did those guys last year kind of help you get up to speed in a quick amount of time?
You know, they helped me a ton, especially Alex. He was one of the big factors of that because he always taught me like what to do and everything, especially when I ran with the ones during fall camp and I was earning that spot. He always told me what to do and how to do it, and he was just a great mentor to me, especially all of them too, like Sully, Shane, Jeremy and Jared and all those guys, and they did a great job of that, and I really appreciate the fact that they got me up to speed that quickly before, especially the first game against CSU, and I felt ready enough just to be in that game.
Let's talk individual before we talk team, because we will get into
Gotcha.
team. Individually, last year, freshman All-American. What does a freshman All-American, first of all, does that award mean anything to you, and does that give you extra motivation from an individual perspective?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was a great just recognition for sure, but it's one of those things I'm going to be definitely working harder, and it's something to work up to, and you're never satisfied with what you're doing. So it's definitely one of those things where I'm going to work past that and become hopefully All-American and just Pac-12 or any of that in the nation. So
did that kind of prove to you maybe just how good you can be? I'm sure as coming in as an 18-year-old, everybody has, you think you're indestructible and you think the world of yourself, right? So did that kind of give you a little bit of extra confidence to say, okay, maybe I can really go somewhere with this?
It did, for sure. It's one of those things, yeah, you like to hear that, but you're never satisfied. Like I said before, you're never satisfied, but when you have that type of recognition, you think of yourself, you're like, okay, that gives you a boost of confidence for sure. But it gives you a boost of confidence to be better next season and just keep going, keep working hard, because it's just going to be better instead of just freshman All-American, to be All-American in Pac-12 or in the nation, like I said before. And it's a good push for me. So it gave me great confidence. So.
Well, with that, what did you want to work on specifically in the offseason? Obviously getting better overall, but were there any kind of key areas that you said, I want to make sure I'm better here? Yeah,
for sure. Coach Adams, he always calls me freshman Tim sometimes, and now I'm sophomore Tim, obviously. Right. But it's like working on little things like just steps and making sure I'm getting off to the right backer, or just making sure I got the plays down perfectly now, and have them make sure I'm just right on with it and never making little mistakes like I did last year for sure, and working on hands, just feet and everything. Honestly, has to get improved, and it's definitely one of those things I just got to keep working on for sure.
Team perspective now.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps talking about your position group as the best offensive line that Mac has had since he's been here. I tend to agree, but tell me why.
We have a lot of experience. A lot of guys are playing, and they played a lot last year too. Especially, we haven't lost anybody except for Alex. That's the only one we lost, especially on the left side. We have a whole bunch of experience. There's 2 seniors over there, especially Huckins, because he's played in a lot of games too as a center.
5th and 6th year guys.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and we have Aaron and I, which are the redshirt sophomores, but we also have experience as well. So it's one of those things where it's experience, it's how long we've played here, and how we know the offense well now. And there's a lot of things everyone's expecting out of us, and we're going to try to prove them.
So that's the offensive line. Now, as an offense, it's not no secret that you guys are loaded with weapons.
Yeah.
How fun is that to not only know that when you line up on the field, whoever's out there can make plays, but also how much does it motivate you to really want to prove to everybody that you're that good?
It's great because we have the wide receivers, which are stacked on running backs, we're stacked on quarterback. We have experience, and he's great. We have everything that we need, especially with that offensive line. It's going to help for sure. If we block or if we just block, running backs are going to get through, score touchdowns. If we block, and then Steven gets enough time, get it to the wide receivers, touchdown. They're going to make plays out there, and we expect that from them. We just got to block for them, and then we know they're going to make plays.
Let's talk about the guys you go up against every day. Defensive line. There are a lot of roles to be replaced, and it seems that this defense has a chip on its shoulder that says, stop talking about the guys last year, we're going to make a name for ourselves now.
Yeah.
Do you see that attitude coming through? And now you got to go against a guy like Javier, and you have Leo there, and G5 and Malumba. So what does that D-line bring to the table?
They bring us just like they're great. It's a lot different from last year for sure because you lose all those players from last year, but they're just as great. I'll tell you that. And every single one of them are improving every day. And Javier, Leo, G5, all them, they're just doing great, and they're pushing us towards our limits too, and making us a better offensive line, and we push them to be a better defensive line. So I feel like they're going to stop the offensive line that they're going against opposing teams, and I feel like they're going to do great this year.
So we'll talk about pass block and run block real quick.
Yeah.
Let's talk about run block first. The guy you got coming back is, I don't know if there's another guy you'd rather have on your side more than Phil Lindsay when you go to battle. So just what is it about having, and not only Phil, you've got Michael Adkins and Bishrat too. So talk about your running back group and just kind of what kind of year you expect from them.
I expect a big year from them, especially Phil. Phil's a great guy, and we love blocking for that guy because he gives us all the credit in the world when we never get that at all. And it's a great feeling having that from him, especially when he brings us up after the ASU game and brings us up to the media just for the hell of it because he loved us. And that motivates us to be better as a team, and especially as an offensive line. And he pushes us every day in practice and pushes us every time in games to be better, and that helps us have more confidence in us. And it's just he's going to do great this year, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Pass blocking. Last year, you had the fortune of playing with the all-time leading passer in the school's history, and one of the best leaders I've personally ever seen. This year, you have a guy that played a good amount last year, so I imagine you would have some confidence because you played with him.
For sure.
But just talk about what Steven brings to the table now that maybe he didn't last year.
He's improved greatly, and he's done better with his the speed and his throws and everything. He's gotten so much better. We just watch him every day in camp, and he's gotten better and better. And he brings the weapon, just like he has a great arm. He's fast. He can run, and he has all the weapons that we need as a quarterback. And basically, it's going to be great having him back there, especially with the experience he had. I'd be kind of worried if we didn't have a guy with much experience out there, but he's had enough experience to where he's going to do great this year. And he's just going to do great. I can imagine him just throwing all these tubs and running all these, just gap schemes and everything, and doing great.
Lastly, being a Colorado guy, I imagine most of your teammates who aren't from here know that this is just another game on the schedule, and obviously that's how you approach it.
Yeah.
But what does this game mean for you? It's got to mean a little bit more than just another game on the schedule.
Oh yeah, it's always a big game. That's one of the biggest games of the year because this sticks with you 365 days a year. So it was great having that last year, but we're gonna build on that and become better this year, and hopefully it's one of those games that we have to win it. We have to, because we don't want to deal with hearing about it all year. And it's, that's just one of those guys down north or whatever, wherever they're at. And we're just going to beat them up this year. So.